Hello, people. Welcome to Main Event Boxing Talk. And I've got Spencer here. How you doing, Spencer?
I'm all right. And yourself, man?
I'm good, yeah. How are you, Tom?
I'm doing exceedingly well. Thank you.
Okay, let's get straight into it. Anthony Joshua stops Robert Helenuis in the 7th round. What did you guys think of this performance? I thought it was awful.
I wouldn't call it awful. I wouldn't call it awful. It was a very clean knockout. I thought he was cautious, and eventually Helenuis started getting worn down, and he unloaded that overhand right, and that was it.
Okay, what did you think, Spencer?
I think in the beginning, he's still working with a relatively new trainer. So he's trying to get inside, do certain things. And Helenuis was bigger than, like he was the bigger guy, wasn't he? Wasn't he bigger than it looks? So every time AJ kept trying to get in, attack the body, do certain things like that, Helenuis was able to like reach out and hit him, tagged his eye up a little bit, kind of like swole up his eye. But hopefully that knockout gave him the confidence that he needs going into another fight. Because that was a clean knockout.
Yeah, I think it did. If you look at what happened, he reverted to the stab jab to the stomach.
Yeah.
And he got him focusing on that, and then he faked the stab jab while he backed him into the ropes, and then that left hand came down, the overhand right came up as he tried to counter with the hook. But he was much too slow at that point to do anything, and he got caught flush.
Yeah.
It was a good tactic. Good tactic. What did you think, Nathan?
I thought he lacked a lot of confidence. And I think basically the first 3 rounds, he didn't commit. You notice he didn't commit to any proper jabs. He couldn't hit him. Helenuis kept walking back, didn't he? So every time he tried to hit him, he was hitting him with one punch, 2 punch combination. He wasn't committing to the body attack. He hurt him. Did you see the 3rd round where Joshua hurt him in the 3rd round to the body?
Yeah.
I think if he forced the action a bit more, he could have stopped him in 3 or 4 rounds rather than 7. I could understand why he boxes the way he is. His footwork has improved. His strategic ring skills have improved as well. So he knows. And the knockout was fucking brilliant. In the club, everybody was cheering. Yeah.
Well, remember the Wilder fight when Helenuis backed up Deontay into the ropes. It gave Deontay, the ability to be close enough to throw the overhand right. And that's what knocked him down. He threw an overhand right, caught him in the temple, and he was out. So, he was having a hard time for maybe a minute and 20 seconds.
But then the main story of this question was, is he ready for Wilder? No, he is fucking not. He needs another 3 fights, another 3 warm-up fights, so another 2 fights, just to work the Derek James style. He hasn't got the confidence to go in there and get him there, Wilder. Forget it.
Yeah, if I was managing him, I would probably suggest like work with Derek James another fight or 2 before you go in there and take on Wilder. But strike when the iron's hot, because he could also mess around and lose one of them 1 or 2 fights.
Yeah, and so can Wilder.
Yeah, but if you're Anthony Joshua and you get knocked out by Wilder in 1 or 2 rounds, your career is over. Your earning potential is not going to be there anymore. It will disappear overnight.
Yeah, I think now is a good time for them to fight. I mean, how much longer does it have to be put off? When is he ever going to be mentally 100%?
Yeah.
I mean, there comes a time where you just got to fight.
Yeah. He's got clipped before. He knows how it feels to get clipped and lose a fight by stoppage. Go for it.
He's never been out cold.
Manager,
no.
I wouldn't let him anywhere near Wilder or Fury ever. He doesn't need to fight these guys. He can make money fighting guys like Helenuis the rest of his career if he wants to.
True.
He's earned that right to do that.
I guess he he should do it for the fans, if anything, because the fans definitely clamoring for the
Yeah,
fight.
but he's not about the fans. Joshua's never been about the fans. It was about the money. He doesn't give a shit about the fans. He's never shown that to me.
Well, the fans is the ones that gave him the money, so.
Good point.
Yeah. Oh, no shit. Yeah.
I think he would lose.
Yeah.
I also think he would lose.
Yeah, I think so too.
Are we moving on?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Has anybody else got the list in front of them?
Now listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, I'm not sure if you listed this, but are we going to talk about the other heavyweight fights that was on that card?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Right. Because Hrgovic, he's going to talk about Hrgovic.
It's
I want to talk about. No, stop. I want to talk about Derek Chisora's fight against Gerald Washington.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
He looked absolutely terrible. He
He
needs to retire.
He should have lost that fight.
Him so many shots. Yeah, he didn't even win.
Yeah, he should have. He could have. You could have called that fight for Gerald Washington. Going into it, I thought Chisora was going to win, but
so did I.
But Gerald Washington. Yeah. Gerald Washington, lost a few fights in the last few years. So, but Gerald Washington, he was winning. He definitely was winning the first half of the fight. So.
Well, we all picked Chisora to win, but all it does for Chisora is give him another shot at making some money.
Yeah,
that's what it keeps him in the game.
Yeah, got one more fight because he said he's not thinking about retiring yet. So
no, not yet. That's for sure. So yeah, he lives to fight another day, and Washington, I guess, will just be a stepping stone. At this rate.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do? Win it, you lose it.
Let's move on.
Alicia Bumgarner.
Yeah, pronounce it now. Alicia. What's her name? Alicia
Bumgarner.
Okay. Apparently, there's been adverse findings found in her drug test. Should she be stripped? The answer is fucking yes. She should be stripped.
Yeah, if it's positive, then yeah, she got to be stripped. The crazy thing, her response, I don't know. Like some people saying that, was it her or was it Dylan White saying that they not sure about Eddie Hearn and his tactics about him spiking their drinks or spiking their samples or something. Yeah. And somehow they getting them at the end of these fight deals. They getting these adverse findings in their urine or whatever the case is.
Well, that's kind of a conspiracy theory, but to be honest, when I looked at her in that fight, she was super ripped. If you go back and look at that fight, her body was her body was beautiful, but it was ripped. And I even had a thought. I go, wow, that's, she looks really ripped for a gal.
The story, supposedly what she got caught with was something that has been around for years that people already know that's something that they test for. It's not some type of tricky stuff. So why would you take something that they testing for?
All right. And you never know what's going on behind the scenes sometimes, but ultimately a fighter is responsible for what they put in their body.
Yeah. She's never had no history of this. So as with a lot of fighters, if they claim innocent or they took something they didn't know had some stuff in it or whatever the case is, your first time you might be able to get a pass. She should still be stripped or whatever, but your first time you should get a pass on the public outrage. if you get caught again or you get a history of it or something like that, if that becomes a track record, then
Well, White is on number 3, isn't he?
Yeah, White is a different story. I'm just talking about with her.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they got a way of getting to the bottom of this. I mean, was she in Mexico eating any of the Mexican meat?
She could have been hanging out with Tyson Fury and getting
at his butcher shop.
Yeah. or Dylan White.
Right. Whatever.
Right,
man.
guys.
Let's
move on.
Hrgović.
Yeah. Hrgović beats Dempsey McKean in the final round barely by a stoppage, barely, and I mean barely. This was not a good
I didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like the way he looked in this one either, man.
No.
And he's the IBF mandatory.
Yeah. His boogeyman status is really waning right now.
Yeah, it's scaring me that he's losing it.
It's like people was like, nobody want to fight Hrgović, but now people might be like, hey, don't nobody need to fight Hrgović. He ain't gonna win nothing anyway. As soon as he fight Usyk, he gonna be yesterday's news once he loses to Usyk.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Hrgović fighting Usyk if Usyk wins after he fights
Dubois? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's the next mandatory. Wait.
I got it.
Is he the next mandatory, or is the WBO the next mandatory? I thought Hrgović was next in line.
The WBO. The IBF is, then it's the WBO, which is the winner of Zhang and Joyce.
Okay, so it will be Dubois if he wins, obviously, all of these. It will be Dubois, Hrgović, Joyce, Zhang winner. Like that?
But the truth is, if Dubois was to win, the belts would be split up anyway.
If Dubois was to win.
Yeah. But she's not
How would the belts be split?
Because he's not. He's boring. He's boring. He doesn't sell tickets. He's fucking boring. The guy's got no personality. He's boring as fuck. That's why.
I mean, he would have 3 belts. Yo, they would definitely throw him up against Tyson Fury. Frank Warren would quickly make that fight. He would quickly make that Tyson Fury Dubois fight. Especially if Dubois was to somehow knock out Usyk. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, really?
That fight would be made in like a week.
Yeah, he canceled the Nagano fight to do that.
Yeah, he would definitely not be playing around with that one.
I don't feel. Right, anyway, we'll move on to our next one. Navarrete.
Go ahead, wait, Nathan. Say what you was about to say.
No, because that's coming later. No, stop.
Oh, okay.
We got to talk about this. Navarrete outguns Valdez to retain his title.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a bad one. He took a beating in that fight.
Yeah, man, I think Valdez. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like Navarrete looks kind of weird fighting, but he was mad effective and he was throwing punches all night.
Yeah.
He was just tagging Valdez. Valdez, I was shut.
Valdez was a step slower, man.
I think he broke his orbital bone, if you ask me.
I don't know. I think Valdez, ever since he lost to Shakur, mentally he hasn't been the same. Maybe even physically.
I think it was the fight before that. That guy that I think, who was it? Santiago, I think he fought. Somebody he fought Shakur before he fought Shakur, after Burchelt, but before Shakur, that he kind of lost that fight, in my opinion. It was a tough fight. And like ever since, Shakur definitely embarrassed him though. Like Shakur was definitely some icing on whatever cake he was. Whatever bad cake he was having.
Shakur is 2 levels above most of those guys.
Yeah.
But he didn't look good to me. I think it's getting. He should probably, maybe have a couple easy fights and retire.
Yeah. Go out on the winning thing. Maybe even try to get what if they could set him up with an easy victory against a for a vacant title or something.
Yeah, hopefully. What do you think, Nathan?
I'm not interested in either of those fighters, to be honest.
All right, well then let's move on to Usyk and Dubois next Saturday. How long will it last?
About 6 rounds. I give Dubois 6 rounds to last.
So you think Usyk gonna stop Dubois?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're going to pull him out.
I think Usyk is going to make him look silly as a boxer. There's always that, connecting with the punch thing. But if AJ couldn't connect and put him out, I don't see Dubois doing it.
I mean, the guy's not good enough. He's in over his head. He's been given a world title. He was never ready to win. And, he got a backdoor to be a military challenger.
Hey,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say he's in it now, so can't back out.
Well,
he would have to give his best performance. Like he would have to do something better than what he did against Joyce. He didn't look too bad against Joyce. I mean, he lost and all of that. But in the beginning of that fight, he was kind of hitting Joyce. I mean, Joyce does get hit. So
I think Dubois is only good against B-level opposition. B, C. He's no good against the top guys. If somebody hasn't got good shit, he'll expose him and beat them. He hasn't got the defensive skills or the boxing strategics to win this fight.
Usyk is a far superior boxer than this guy. He's going to be in places in the ring that Dubois is not going to be able to hit him. He's going to tag him.
He's going to be behind him.
He's going to be at different angles. He's going to be hitting him from the left side. Dubois going to be swinging on his right side. So it's gonna be like something crazy. It might get stopped from embarrassment. I don't know if Usyk going to like stop him where it's gonna be powerful, but it just might be like Dubois ain't connecting. He just keep getting tagged.
Right.
I don't know if he go down or anything, but
well, we'll see how it goes. But I think maybe Nathan is. I'm going to go with Nathan. I think maybe it'll go to about the 7th or 8th round, and he'll just be busted up, and they'll stop the fight.
Yeah.
Rather than letting him get too hurt too bad, because he's going to be popping him from angles. He's going to swell him up.
Probably pop.
The only chance he has is to push him into the ropes and smother him. That's what AJ did. When AJ started doing that, he was more successful. But if you let Usyk out in the middle of the ring, he's going to run circles around you.
Yeah, he definitely, Dubois better target that body. That's like one of the things his coach better be telling him, to target his body so that he could slow him down and he could stay in front of him. Because that's, like you said, that's the only way he's going to have a chance is if he stays in front of him and he's there to get hit. You got to keep him in front of you.
Joyce couldn't do it in the amateurs, Joyce tried it, and he couldn't pin him.
Okay, let's move on to Jared Anderson against Andre Rudenko, which will be next day. This is a fight I expect Anderson to win comfortably. You should stop him in the mid rounds.
I'm gonna go with that.
I would agree with that. Jared Anderson, I read something that he was attributing his last victory that he had over the former heavyweight champion to Shakur, from working with Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur showing him some moves and some combinations and things to do. And he gave props to working out with Shakur there. But it's an interesting undercard because they've got a Jabba and they have Jalalov on the same card. So if FA wins, maybe he'll fight Anderson next or Jalalov, Kind of like a good card in that regard to see like where everybody is going to come out at the end of it, where everybody's going to stand. So Jabba could fight either one of those guys at this point.
Yeah, he could fight Anderson or Jalava.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't think Anderson and Jalalov is going to fight each other though. Next.
No, too soon, maybe.
Yeah, I think Ajaba will be the one that fights either one of them guys.
Yeah, and
I don't think Efiajab is any good. Efiajab is no good. Anderson would beat Efiajab, from what I said.
Yeah, but if he beats, who's he fighting? Ajaba, you said?
Let me pull up the card.
Let me look at the records.
Here, it's over here. So it's Jaba's going to fight Southpaw Zan Kozobutsky.
Oh, Zan Kasabuski is the guy that Jared Anderson was meant to fight. I'm going to make the favourite here, Zan Kasabuski, to it.
Ah, okay.
Have you ever watched him fight? Have you ever watched Zan Kasabuski fight? Yes or no?
Who he fought?
He fought. Who's the small, fat, blonde-haired guy from Philadelphia?
Dweco?
Yeah.
Dweco.
Joey Dweco. Stopped him in a couple of rounds.
He stopped Joey Dweco in a couple of rounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got 3 losses on points. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I might have seen him. I don't know if I don't think I've seen that fight.
He looks like a Chinese version of Vladimir Klitschko. To put it.
Okay.
So, and also next on this card. Yeah, let me finish. Jalalov is fighting some guy I've never heard of him before, so it'll be an easy fight for him.
Yeah.
What is all of this junk going down here?
So Nigerians or Nondi Arowe. It's a Nigerian fighter. Jalalov is bad. He's a bad man.
Yeah. So far, we're gonna see.
Yeah. His opponent has been KO'd twice, and once by Zan Kobolowski. He was KO'd by him and KO'd by Rodney Hernandez. Doesn't look like he's got that good of a record, but the fights that he has won, he's got a 95% knockout record ratio.
Yeah, he's gonna get knocked out.
He's 6'7" though, so it's not. I think Jalalov is 6'9".
Yeah, he's tall too, so he's gonna knock him out.
That's where it should be. That's about where. No, that's same height, 6'7". Well, it'll be a good night for heavyweights, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, like the D'Anthony Joshua card had 3 heavyweight fights on it. That was cool.
Yeah. You want to move on, Nathan?
Yeah.
So you have your 5 versus Frank.
Yeah. I don't know, and I don't care about this fight, to be honest.
Well, your Yafai is the Olympic gold medalist, and he's over there in England, right?
No, it's not that Yafai. It's his brother. It's a different Yafai.
Right, but isn't he in England as well?
Yeah.
So what's the story on him over there?
I don't know. Really, let me look him up.
Isn't it 3 of them?
Yeah,
2 of them.
Gamble,
2 brothers.
Gamble, and there's the one who was the world champion, but I can't remember his fucking name.
Right, and they're all very good.
Yeah, he's 4-0, so not much. I can't go off much of it.
Oh, he's just starting out.
Yeah, so I can't really.
Yeah, he's a gold medalist from the Olympics.
He's 30 years old, so he's old.
Yeah.
I was like, you better hurry up.
Well, let's move on. That's not interesting.
All right.
Crawford says he's willing to go up to 168, which I think is the dumbest thing he could ever say. Really,
it's madness. Well.
Hey,
Canelo said he won't go down. He can't go down.
He can't make the weight.
No, can't.
I could see Crawford eventually fighting at 154 and then 160 eventually, but not for a fair few years.
Yeah, but Crawford ain't got a few years in his mind, maybe.
No, he wants to cash out. That's why he wants to fight Canelo.
He like, I could fight Charlo at 154. Get his.
Yeah.
I could fight Tszyu for the WBO belt. When Charlo comes back down, I could fight him for undisputed at 154, beat him, and then move up 2 weight classes and beat Canelo.
What kind of money has Terence Crawford made? Surely he doesn't need to box anymore, right? The amount of money.
I mean, probably not if he invested his money wisely. But shoot, there's stories of guys that had $100 million NBA contracts that are broke. So
yeah, being that we're at 168, I forgot to put up there that Andrade and
I got it down there. I got it down there. Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Well, look, it's interesting that these guys, they're all unified, Charlo, Bud, and whatnot, and they want to go after Canelo because those are the big money fights, right? Where unified meets unified. Those are the best fights.
Yeah, because as they are undisputed right now, that means they got mandatories, and those mandatories aren't bringing in no money for them. Not like if they jump up a weight class and fight the other undisputed guy, or you know what I mean. So
it's not worth it for him to fight Boots Ennis at this point,
Yeah, he might as well move up to 154 and fight Keith Thurman or something, because that might be more money than a Boots Ennis fight.
Yeah, right, let's move on.
Sure.
To Zerdo against Smith Jr. It's rumored to be for October the 7th in Vegas.
Well,
yeah, that's to get Zerdo a win on his get him back on the winning ways.
Yeah.
You got to get your winning ways.
Because he was embarrassed by what's it called.
Oh yeah.
Who did Ramirez lose to last time? Was it Patir? I can't remember who lost it.
Bivol. Wasn't it Bivol? Bivol.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. He lost to Bivol.
Right. I would be embarrassed too. Right?
Joe Smith Jr. is finished as a top level guy.
Yeah, that's why I think Zerdo should be him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's got a better boxing pedigree. Joe is a big, strong guy. He got lucky. He came to fame with Bernard Hopkins knocking him out of the ring, ending his career. But he never could beat the top guys.
Nah. He was lucky to get that WBO belt when he got it. That Bert Kirby got off him.
Right. Well, it'll be interesting if Crawford goes up there. I mean, if Crawford could just, be tricky and slip and slide and change stances, he could hang in there for a while, hoping that Canelo doesn't catch up to him. But we got to see what Canelo has now after his injuries and layoff, what he has. Right, he fights Charlo, because Charlo's no slouch. Yeah. Okay, what do you got?
Yeah, Charlo talking about he going to win. So
the WBC rescinds its previous order for Wilder versus Ruiz eliminated. What does this mean?
Remember they had ordered Ruiz and Wilder for the WBC eliminator, but they took it back now. They said they're going to, redo things at the convention coming up in October or November, whenever the convention is coming up. So
yeah, so they can make a fight that makes more money. That's basically what it is.
They're going to let Wilder fight AJ, and that might be for mandatory to get against Fury.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Just in case AJ wins, then they could definitely be like, all right, cool. And Eddie Hearn talking about he willing to give Fury 60-40 anyway in the AJ fight. So
wow. Sounds good. Let's hope so. I mean, how long have we been asking for these,
Yeah. Yeah. Like I could think of only one, well, maybe in the heavyweight division. That is, like maybe one fight I was hoping for, we never got. Like one of them is Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis when they was in the pros. We never really got a chance to see that fight. We never got a chance to see George Foreman, Mike Tyson. For some reason, a lot of people wanted to see that fight because of the big, knockout guys. But for the most part, most of the heavyweight matchups, I got a chance to see. A lot of matchups I, wanted to see.
Right.
Some of them way too late.
Yeah,
that's true too, and some of them never happen.
Yeah.
Okay. In other news,
Ibuchi
will be fighting out for the WBO and IBF unification fight. The two of these guys, I mean, obviously, Vincenzo is a weak champion. This is a weak middleweight division now, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, Janibek should win this fight if they set it up. If they set it up, he should be able to win this fight.
But you've got to say this is a weak 160 division now, isn't it, that we're currently in?
Yeah, compared to when GGG and Canelo were fighting in that division, it is. I mean, they both cleaned out that division for a long time.
Yeah, because you got to think they right. They got to like rebuild that division up. Janibek is probably looking like he's the best of the ones that's left there.
Yeah, and Charlo has been sidelined with injuries.
And Laura is the WBA champ.
Right.
And he's old in the tooth. He's long in the tooth. So.
Yeah, then the two of them put together probably.
Yeah, so. I mean, but Laura probably overall is at his peak was probably the best of the ones as champions out there. But he ain't at his peak no more. So.
Right. Well, it's going to take time. Who's coming up that's looking? I mean, I could see Tim Tszyu going into the middleweights and being dominating.
I just read an article. Tony Harrison is going to move up to 160.
I don't know.
I mean, a lot of them 154 guys, Jared Herb, Tony Harrison, J Rock, all them dudes is moving up to 160 if it's not already there.
They're all good. They're all good, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll have to see how they carry the weight in. Nathan?
Yeah.
Where did you go, Nathan?
Benavidez is going to be fighting at 168, probably 3 fights. No, what does it say?
And the fight that he's fighting is Demetrius Andrade. He's trying to get.
Yeah. It looks like he's going to get it too.
Yeah, that's the fight.
Yeah,
that's
it makes
good.
Sense.
Yeah. He fight him. He's saying 3 fights at 168, so I'm believing that he's saying fight Andrade and then obviously Canelo in a rematch.
Well,
hasn't he won the belt, the WBC belt twice now, or is it 3 times? He's the interim, right?
Twice, I think.
He had won it twice. He got it stripped. He got it taken away because he was overweight, I believe, in one of the fights.
And
one was Coke, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys think
because Canelo got all the belts? So,
did you think at this stage of Benavidez' career he should be a lot bigger now than what he is? I mean, he shouldn't really be a bigger name than what he is.
Well, if he wasn't stripped 2 times, I would say definitely. Definitely. But he's 26.
He's probably the best fighter in this division, in my opinion. One of the, and so underrated.
I mean, we got to see. I mean, he's better than Plant, but we got to see because there's some guys in that division that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
How old is he now?
He's
26 or something. He's young.
26. 26.
Yeah. Because he's still got to fight Canelo. Canelo's still a man of the division.
Andrade is no pushover. Let's face it.
Andrade is no pushover. Morrell is on the come up. He's pretty good. You know, not that I don't think he's going to pose a challenge to him, but Munguia is now at 168. You know, Charlo, when he come back off of the injury or whatever, he's probably going to move up to 168.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there are good fights to be made out there, but Canelo doesn't know who he's fighting after this fight with Charlo.
Yeah.
No.
So it could be, I mean, if you saw the press conference, the first press conference, he says, you know, I put the Breakfast Club podcast on there with him. It was a really good interview. And he just doesn't know, you know, he's going to talk it over with Al Heyman and see who's there, really, and see who they think is a good fit. So I think Canelo wants to fight for 5 more years, he says.
Okay. I mean, that's about 10 more fights.
Yeah.
By his average.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think Benavidez, rather. You know, you have good fighters there. Morrell, like you said. Ryder is kind of not in the picture anymore. We have, what's his name? M. Billy. Have you seen him fight? He's a strong fighter.
No.
Yeah. And Billy, that guy. Yeah. He's highly ranked too. I think with the WBC, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but you know, Munguia, I mean, he needs to fight somebody real now.
Yeah, he could fight some of his own guys.
Yeah, and Bizanyan is good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. So those are guys that can, you know, Pacheco's coming up, Shishkin. They're all guys that can fight. So we'll have to see. Berlanga's number 4, but Berlanga's going to get his head cracked open when he moves up.
Yeah. Are they who? I just read an article. Who they trying to set up Berlanga against? Is it Munguia?
Yeah,
I think it's Munguia. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. But you know, Munguia I think would be too strong for him.
But that serves the purpose for Munguia. You know, Oscar would probably favor the Mexican over the Puerto Rican anyway. So he gonna set up Munguia to win in a fight because he's like, you could take that guy, and he got an undefeated record, so it's gonna look really good on his resume.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Canelo had some interesting things, just to go off on De La Hoya and Golden Boy, things that he had to say about Oscar, which I didn't expect to hear. So if you get a chance, listen to that podcast. It's pretty interesting.
Which one?
The one on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, it's on Main Event. Check it out. I like those guys. I like when Bud went on there like a week or 2 before, and he sat in the throne. The guy said that he was going to lose, and he apologized to him.
Yeah. Charlemagne.
Yeah, he had him apologize.
Anyway, that's it, right, Nathan?
Yeah. Just wanted to say thank you to everybody for coming on, and we'll try and be back next week.
All right, no doubt.
All right, good luck this week.
All right.
See you
Thanks.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Bye.